Yo, what's good, folkers? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're in the world. This is Tyrus Bain. Welcome to the Definition of Anarchy channel, where today I want to talk about allies. Okay? I want to talk about allies. I want to talk about building alliances and forming coalitions of like-minded people. Okay? Because we're in a time where there is so much divisiveness that you don't know what's up, what's down. You don't know who's on the right side of what idea. Because guess what? There's really no right side to any idea. There's no right or wrong to any ideals. It's just how you implement them, right? How do you implement carrying out your ideals, right? So let's say, for instance, they want to keep people safe from the Modelo 19, right? They want to keep people safe from the Modelo 19, but they do it in a tyrannical way. That's the problem. Instead of telling people, look, build your immune system, be careful when you come into contact with other people, make sure you exercise, make sure you get sunlight, make sure you eat a well-balanced diet, they tell you, no, you got to wear a mask, you got to social distance, you got to stay in the house. All these things that will raise cortisol levels, right? Put stress on you, right? So what happens when you're cooped up in the house and you can't do anything? You can't go outside, you can't go for a walk, you can't do this, you can't do that. Well, you're building up stress levels in your body, and this makes you sick. That's why in New York, over 90% of the people hospitalized with Modelo 19 were those who stayed in the house all the time. Just like, according to the CDC report, 71% of the people who were hospitalized with Modelo 19 always wore a face flag, okay? But moving on from that, you have to build alliances with people that are like-minded and have a moral standing. You understand what I'm saying? What I mean by moral standing is, do they have compassion? Do they have, some empathy? Do they know what you're going through? Can they relate to you on a certain level? Because I tell you what, where I'm at right now, in the state of California, I don't have much of that going on. You understand what I'm saying? Even with the people that say they kind of agree with what I be talking about, the way I talk to you guys, their actions don't back that up. I can't get the homies to go out and exercise with me. You know what I'm saying? I was more able to get their wives to go out and exercise with me and get some training in before they did. Like, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, your wife should not be ready to train before you are. You understand what I'm saying? But that's another story. You have to build alliances. You have to reach out to people that you may not know that well, right? You may not know these people that well, but there are certain ways to vet people. There's certain ways to test people. You know what I'm saying? And maybe I'll get into that in another video. And it can't just be any old alliance, right? You know, you can't just take anybody into your circle. You have to determine what value those people will bring to the table, right? Like myself, I just use myself for an example. I am a veteran, right? I have experience with firearms. I have experience, in combat training, and I have experience with marksmanship, drills, all this stuff, all the things that I can help people who don't have any of that experience gain that experience and hone their skills. But that's not all I bring to the table. I also bring the fact that I am an electrician. I'm an electrician who could generate power from certain things that most people who aren't electricians could even think of doing. You know what I'm saying? And I can help repair things. I have a mechanical mind. I like to use my hands. I like to get my hands dirty. You know what I'm saying? I've done some carpentry. I've done some framing. I've done some roofing. So I have the ability and the knowledge to build, to repair, you know what I'm saying? And shit like that. And I also want to start working on car mechanics. So that's another valuable skill that someone could have. So when you meet people and they tell you, oh, I'm a doctor or I'm a nurse, take special interest in those type of people. Oh, I'm an EMT. I'm a firefighter. You know what I'm saying? I am, there are certain things that you can look for in a person that can add value to your circle, right? Like, say, for instance, people that you wouldn't think. People that have roles that would require some form of leadership and strategy, right? You know, like former police officers. I know, police officer, right? But a former police officer who understands that the police aren't gods and angels, and perhaps they left the police department because they knew how ridiculous it was. You know what I'm saying? Like military, like veterans who have that leadership skills, those leadership skills, that have those strategic skills, that know tactics and things like that. Hell, firefighters, and even like firefighters who fight forest fires. Think about those. They have to come up with a plan to fight a wildcat fire that's spreading faster than it has ever spread in history. They have to come up with the strategies to get around that fire, to do a line break and all that other shit, right? These are the type of people you want to take special interest in, right? But at the same time, you want to make sure you add something valuable to the table. And if you feel like you don't have anything valuable to bring to the table, learn something, learn a trade, study certain things. You know what I'm saying? Maybe take an EMT course at a community college. You know, something you don't have to pay too much money for. You know, you take an EMT class for a semester or two, and you'll learn some valuable emergency first aid skills. Bring something valuable to the table. Meet an electrician, meet a carpenter or somebody like that. Meet a gardener, a farmer. These are the type of people that you want to get to know and build a camaraderie with. These are the type of people you want to build a camaraderie with, especially farmers. Are you kidding me? Oh, they're going to be very valuable in the future, right? That's going to be a valuable skill to know, right? Meet a farmer. I go to the farmer's market. I have friends that are at the farmer's market that are farmers, you know, in fruits and vegetables, ranchers that raise animals and have lots of land, and I have access to, you know what I'm saying? I can go there at any time during an emergency, during whatever. As a matter of fact, the guy I get my meat from, the rancher who I know how he raises animals, I know that he's legit, right? He's like-minded with me. He thinks like I do, right? He has the same type of awareness and same type in that preparedness. He's ready to go. His land is decked out. He has decked out land. He has well water. He has groves. He has it's crazy. His animals graze upon the land, like, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, he has to deal with bears and cougars and all this other shit sometimes. But that's part of the game. He knows how to deal with that. I can go, if at any point I can work with this guy. I can go to his ranch, work on his ranch, and get my hands on that stuff and learn how to do it, right? I can at any time. As a matter of fact, we're working on building something together that, you know, in the future may be very valuable, right? Even when I end up leaving Cali, I will continue to have this relationship with him and have this alliance, you know what I'm saying? Because what we're trying to do is we're trying to build a network of individuals that are going to be ready for anything, right? That are going to be prepared for when the shit hits the fan. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And look, it might not even happen in our lifetime, but at least our children will be prepared for it. So that's what you want to do. And as a matter of fact, this guy, when he's ready, I'm going to get together with him and some other guys, and we're going to start brainstorming on certain things that we can do. And at some point, look, at some point, this is the thing. At some point, you might have to quit your job and work on something else. I'll say that. Let's say I'm working on something to where I can quit my job and I'll be okay. And what I'll be focused on is training other people, training myself. And that will be my full-time focus. Training people how to use firearms, training people in combat sports, well, self-defense and hand-to-hand combat, training people on how to get prepared, running obstacle courses, things like that. These are things that I have envisioned in my mind that I want to do. And I'm also going to get that going if I go to this other state. You know what I'm saying? When I go to this other state, let's just say that. When I move to this other state, I got people there already ready to go. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, this cat over there, he's more equipped than I am because he grew up with that type of mentality. He was raised on a ranch. You understand what I'm saying? He was raised on a ranch. He was raised on how to use the land and its resources to survive. And he lives that life as much as he can. He'll go out to the woods for a weekend with a little backpack, you know what I'm saying, without the motherfucking tent, all that other shit. Just using what he has, using what he has in his backpack to survive for those few days in the woods, right? He even, he'll scale the side of a cliff. The only way you can get down to this area right here is if you use a rope. Little shit like that. Things that you put yourself in that situation so that you can prepare. So if something happens and you have to go to this area, you know that the only way to access it is to use a rope or to use a boat, go down the river. You understand what I'm saying? These are the type of valuable things that you can learn, that you should be learning, right? I'm telling you, man, I'm ready to get it cracking. I'm ready. I'm just, like I said, I'm just waiting for this guy to get all of us together. And I'm not working for him. You know, we're working together. It's an alliance, right? It's a partnership. A mutually agreed upon partnership where we all bring something valuable to the table. Like this rancher that I'm talking about, he doesn't have military experience. You know what I'm saying? But he does know, he was a general contractor, right? He knows how to build things. You know what I'm saying? He has all this land, you know, and he's a white dude. You know what I'm saying? He's white. This is the reality of it. He's a white dude. He's a conservative, right? And he's a Trump supporter. And, you know, those are the few things we don't have in common, right? Because, you know, y'all know me. I'm not a Trump supporter. I am not a Republican or anything like that. I don't subscribe to the left-right paradigm lie. He kind of does. He kind of doesn't. You know what I'm saying? He's slowly waking up to that. And that's something I can help him become aware of. But we both have something valuable to bring to the table. He recognizes that in me. I recognize that in him. He recognizes that I don't have as much assets as him, you know what I'm saying, as far as the land and the businesses he has. But he doesn't care because he knows that I have a level of knowledge that is much more valuable than any money I could spend with him on him. You know what I mean? So, and another thing is he's always giving me free shit, you know, and this is what I'm talking about. It's not just him. I get discounts and free shit all the time from the people at the farmers market. You just build that relationship with them. And that's why I was like, man, when I first started going to the farmers market, it was like in 2009 or something like that. Yeah, 2009, when my wife first got pregnant. Because she used to go to the farmer's market. So my wife introduced me basically to the farmer's market. I used to go to Whole Foods and, Trader Joe's to get my shit. But when she introduced me to the farmer's market, man, I fell in love, and it was like nothing I've ever experienced before. The food was delicious. The food was fresh. It was just something I could not believe it. And at that time, I'm like, man, these people, they really got something good going on. You know what I mean? You know, they drive, some of them hundreds of miles to go to this farmer's market to sell their food. And they make a pretty good amount of money. It could be a little bit more expensive than grocery store food, but the value that you get from it, it's just unmatched. So, and you know it's fresh. You know they picked it the day before. They just harvested it, whatever the case may be, and they're bringing it right to you. So I was like, man, and after a few months of going to the farmer's market and me, you know, being a visionary and seeing how which way the world was turning, right? Because I knew that, look, motherfuckers gonna have to start getting prepared for something. I knew that back then, 2008, 2009. And I was like, man, it'll be great to know some farmers that if I have to, it's something go down and the grocery stores are not stocked up, and, you know, I need access to fresh food, and I'm getting tired of this canned food that I'm saving up and storing up. I know I can call these people and I can go meet them somewhere and pick some fresh food up, or I can go to their farm, or I can go to their ranch and just hang out there, you know, and bring something valuable to them and be able to be like, look, I can help you secure your land. Just, you know, I can help you secure your land. My wife can help out. My kids can help out on the farm or on the ranch, and I can stand watch. I can, you know, I have that ability. I can train your people. I can train you, the other farmers, on how to use farms and go through tactics and things like that. So, man, I always know wherever I go, whatever circle I attach myself to, I bring something valuable to the table. And that's what you want. If you know you bring something valuable to the table, that's what you want from the people that you fox with. You understand? Don't fox with somebody. It's not that time. It's not that time anymore. You know what I'm saying? If they don't have something valuable to bring to the table, then encourage them to learn how to bring something valuable to the table. Just encourage them. Don't say, you're useless. Say, look, man, shit's going down, right? Shit's going to go down eventually. May not happen in our lifetime. May happen tomorrow. You never know. And I don't need you sucking off me, right? Sucking off my resources and bringing nothing to the table. So I need you to, hey man, go learn something. Learn how to fix a car. You know what I'm saying? Learn how to be an EMT. You know what I'm saying? Go to nursing school or something. Do something and bring your level up. Level up, motherfucker. Because look, I know my brother, right? My brother's a barber. He's a barber. And, you know, you may think, oh, man, a barber? What can he do? He gonna cut your hair in a crisis? No, you might need to have your hair cut. You might have to have, you know, when if you don't have access to showers and things like that as often as you need, then, you know, you're growing all that hair and it might not be a good thing. But anyway, well, we can debate that, because some say that it's better for hygiene to have hair growing on your face and all that other stuff, because the dirt gets attached to your hair and not to your skin and all that other shit. We could debate that all day. But even though he earns his living by cutting hair, he's a hell of a builder. He just has a natural talent for building shit, right? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, he can watch something on YouTube once on how to do it, and boom, he knows how to do it. He knows what tools to use. He don't know the name of all the tools, right? Because he never had formal schooling in that. But that motherfucker knows how to build. Okay? He's not the best marksman, not yet. He needs more training in that. But he knows how to build, and he knows how to fight. You understand what I'm saying? And he's not lazy. So I know he could carry his weight if some shit went down. I don't mind having him around if some shit hit the fan. I know that he can help build some fortifications around the house. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to go to Home Depot real quick, grab some wood, boom, 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 and build some fortifications around the house. I know that, boom, I know he can help do that. So don't mind that. So you don't have to be in a profession where you're like a carpenter or mechanic or a nurse or a doctor or something like that. But you have the skills. Maybe you like to do shit as a hobby. You know what I'm saying? And boom, there you go. So don't discount anybody because, you know, they might be doing something you feel is a mundane job, like a cashier or something like that. They might have a talent that they can bring to the table. You understand what I'm saying? So with all that being said, man, I'm just saying, like, look, we need to start building, and let's talk about alliances. We need to build alliances with other groups, right? And this is, I'm speaking particularly to black folks right now. Black folks. Because there's this idea among the black community that when shit goes down, let's say there's a revolutionary war, a civil war, black people, there are a lot of black people out there that feel like they can just sit back and, you know, the two factions of white folks, the liberals and the conservatives or whatever, the government and the government versus conservative white people. They feel like they can just sit back and eat popcorn and watch them duke it out as if they're not going to be sucked into the fight. No, you are. You are. Don't think any other way. And because if you do, you're going to get caught slipping. I'm gonna eat popcorn while these motherfuckers fight it out. That's dumb. Let's be real about that. It's stupid. That's a stupid way to think. If you don't think it's going to spill over to you, you have another thing coming. Just like if China invades the United States and they always try to push this, you know, you guys treat black people like shit, like they give a fuck. Black Chinese people don't give a shit about you. And I'm talking about the government, the Chinese government. They don't give a shit about you. Okay? Because they'll come over here and invade and they'll kill your ass quick as they kill a motherfucking white boy. So let's not get stuck in this idea that we're going to be eating popcorn. No. It's time to start building alliances with people who have the same cause. And you might not even know that you guys have the same cause. Don't look at every white conservative as the enemy, because a lot of them are not. I know, I'm here to say it. I'm here to say it. And there are a lot of white conservatives that hate black people. Just like there's a lot of white liberals that hate black people. They just don't know it, right? Or, as a matter of fact, it's not even the hate that's the real problem when it comes to white liberals. It's this paternalistic, this connection that they have with us. Like they have to, like there are mommies and daddies, and they know what's best for us, and they got to take care of us, and you know, we need them to survive in this world of this, that, and the third. Like they're unstable, like just this focus on us when it comes to Modelo 19 and how they focus on us in regards to how it's killing us and allegedly and the focus on getting us the hokey pokey first and all this shit that we don't ask from them. Let me tell you something. Joe Biden told you. Joe Biden showed you what type of racist he is. So don't just look at white conservatives as like, oh, you just automatically racist, because a lot of these cats have those skills that I was talking about in terms of building, in terms of mechanical reasoning and all this other shit. Mechanical reasoning, that's the key. As far as knowledge on how to use firearms and things like that, that's where they got all that. Land, they know how to use the land, they know how to use the resources on the land, they know how to grow. Most of them, a lot of them, not most of them, a lot of them. A lot of those white folks that are farmers and all this other shit, or even Hispanics or people like that, they have that knowledge, right? It's these white liberals, for the most part, that are more dangerous to you. You understand what I'm saying? They're responsible for the systematic racism, for the most part. I bet y'all didn't know that. The systematic racism that we always talking, that we know exists. We know for a fact it exists, right? There's no debate on that. Like, I don't care what ABL and all them say, because they'll acknowledge that the Democrats are the racist, but then deny systematic. It doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, a lot of the systemic racism that we experience comes from the white liberal, the way they set up their systems. Hello? The crime bill, Democrat. Mandatory sentencing in certain states, Democrat. The conditions of the black community, because of the lack of resources and attention, happen in what type, in whose cities? White liberal cities, ran by white liberals. You're better off looking for Jethro down the street. Again, a lot of them have racist ideals, right? They're prejudiced, they're racist, some of them are bigots, but not all of them. You just have to find the ones that aren't. Like for me, the rancher I was telling you about, the white conservative, he's not racist, right? You know, I mean, he has some of the idea, you know, he has a problem with immigration and things like that. You know, but he hires a lot of his staff, a lot of people that work for him are not white. He has 1 or 2 white dudes that work for him that I see. I've been to his warehouse. I've been to his ranch and all this stuff. It's not just white people that he got working for him. That doesn't necessarily mean that he's not racist. It's just how he treats them and how he acts with me. He interacts with me as if I'm equal to him. You understand what I'm saying? Because he knows I'm equal. He knows that I'm as valuable as he is. He knows that. He's always coming to me with these ideas. I come with him with ideas, and we spitball and all that other shit. He just needs the time to put it together because he has a lot going on. But that's an example. But does that mean that I don't recognize racism in general? I do. See, I have that ability, unlike some black conservatives, right? Am I black conservative? I have some conservative ideas. I believe in a nuclear family. I believe in less government, right? I believe in the government not spending all our money on bullshit, which they do. I believe in zero taxation. A lot of typical conservatives, they believe in no taxation without representation. I believe in no taxation, period. There's never any representation, because once that money leaves your hand, once you're forced to pay these people your hard-earned money, and that money leaves your hand, there's no accountability after that. Like, you're not getting a ledger. They're not sending you a ledger on what they're spending your money on in particular. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm more conservative than a lot of conservatives. I'm more conservative than a lot of conservatives that call themselves conservatives, right? But I'm also liberal, in a real liberal socially, like freedom of, freedom, just my anarchistic mind state. You know what I'm saying? Libertarian, whatever you want to call it. When I think of liberal, I think of liberation, right? But these so-called liberals, they call themselves liberals on the Democratic Party. They're not liberals in the least. Anyway, I don't know why I got into that, but I'm just explaining my political compass, as it were, which I hate politicians. I don't hate politicians. I'm just not into them. I think they're just a waste of breath, and we spend our money on them and they don't do shit for us. So, I don't hate them. I just think they're useless, right? So I don't want to call it a political compass. I want to call it my ideology, right? My ideology is very conservative. But I also believe in, let's say if people want to be gay, they can go ahead and be gay. Don't come at me with that shit. Go ahead, be gay. It doesn't ruin my life. if people want to be gay. That's on them. They want to get down with that. They want that anal prolapse. Go on ahead with it. I ain't with it. I ain't for no booty play. So, you know, it is what it is. So, but like I said, man, just build some relationship and alliances with people who can bring value to the table, but make sure that you have something valuable to bring to the table as well. So, I do want, this is what I want to do. I do want to form a group, you know, somehow, some way, where people can connect and, you know, kind of have a discussion on what they can bring to the table and what kind of alliance they can build. I would love to do something like that. But anyway, like, share, subscribe. I'm gonna get out of here. Yeah, build those alliances, build those relationships. So like, share, subscribe. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Put in the comment section what things you guys can bring to the table. What kind of value can you add to a group? And y'all let me know. All right. And let's keep marching forward toward freedom in this bitch. All right. Peace.